What's going on, guys? Welcome to a special edition of the Horror Guru Review. Once a year, it is the most important time of the year for me. That is Wrestlemania season. I'm a gigantic wrestling fanatic. So I'm going to give a review of Night 1 and Night 2. We just had Night 1 last night. I'm going to do a breakdown of the matches, breakdown of what I thought about them, and hey, we're going to have a good time with this. I do this once a year because it is very important to me. Even though this channel is mainly horror, I like to dabble in some other things as well. Let the audience and let you guys know a little bit about me and my life and what I'm into. So with that being said, we had Night 1 of WrestleMania 39. What did I think about it? So let's go match by match. The start match was John Cena versus Austin Theory. I thought that was it was an okay match. John Cena doesn't wrestle as much anymore, really at all. You see him wrestle once, maybe 2 times a year at this point. He's very, very retired. He keeps a lot of to himself and to his movie roles moving forward in his life, which is fine. He's done a lot for the business, so he deserves it. With Austin Theory being the new up-and-comer, almost looking like a Cena in a way. He resembles John Cena a lot. So with that being said, it was inevitable if Cena was to wrestle, he would get to wrestle him at some point again. So Austin Theory is the United States champion. That is one of the show's mid-card titles. John Cena was challenging him for the championship. I don't think a lot of people thought John Cena was going to go over because he's not around enough to hold the title. So I thought that match was really good for what it was. Austin Theory did end up going over in the match. He won by cheating, which again, it's not. He's a heel. He's a bad guy, so that's kind of par for the course. But it also really did brand him as an important member of the WWE, because to beat John Cena, whether you cheat, whether you do it clean, it doesn't matter. If you beat John Cena, who is a multi-time World Heavyweight Champion, and some call him the franchise. Some will even put him on the Mount Rushmore. So to beat him, that was pretty big for Austin Theory. My one critique in that match is this is WrestleMania season. So we go all out. I think back of the old days, The Rock and Austin's. You got Triple H and Takers and HBKs and Bret Harts, and they leave it all out on the line. And so I believe that if it's WrestleMania season, you should at least hit your finisher at least one time. People save up to come from other countries to go to this. And, we didn't see John Cena's finisher, the AA, the Attitude Adjustment. We seen his submission finisher. But, everyone wants to see the classic AA. And we didn't get that with him. So that was a little disappointing. But, hey, it is what it is. He did his job, and he elevated Austin Theory, which is important moving forward for the company and for wrestling. We want to see new stars being made. So, the next match we have was a 4-way tag team. It was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profit versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Now, this match, I'm not going to lie. When this match was announced, I was very disappointed with it because for Night 1, they have the men's Fatal 4-Way Tag. Night 2 tonight, they're going to have the females Fatal 4-Way Tag, which is fine, but have some incentive behind it. This match, I feel like, was just put together last minute to just kind of fill space. There was no reason for the match. I think what they should have done was the winner of that match got a number 1 contenders match for the tag titles on the next Monday Night Raw, because that's the biggest Raw of the year, because it's the follow-up from WrestleMania. But they didn't do that. They just did normal Fatal 4-Way Tag. But this match was supposed to be a bathroom break, and it just destroyed all expectations. Like, it did such an amazing job. It was a spot fest. Everyone got their job. Everyone got their moves in. Everyone got in some really nice spots, between Braun Strowman doing the train. He knocks everyone out. You have Ricochet doing Ricochet things. He's jumping off the ropes, doing shooting star presses. You have Alpha Academy. You had Chad Gable giving Braun Strowman a German suplex. Braun Strowman's a massive man. He's got to weigh close to 400 pounds. So to see something like that from such a small guy was really cool. I actually really like Chad Gable. He reminds me of a Kurt Angle from back in the day. So Braun and Ricochet ended up not winning. They were my choice. The Street Profits won that match, which I don't got a problem with it. I like the Street Profits. I think Montez is a star in the making, and I think that Dawkins has really got himself in some amazing conditioning over the last year, really, because if you look at a year or 2 years ago, he looked not great. He didn't look bad, but he didn't look great. So they've gotten themselves in some phenomenal shape. I'm excited that maybe at some point we'll get a Montez singles run. He's a great star, and Dawkins can do something in the mid card. But until then, it is what it is. We'll keep moving forward with that. The next match, I feel like because that match was so good, it kind of hurt the next one that was everyone was kind of looking forward to. Logan Paul, everyone's favorite YouTuber, was fighting Seth freaking Rollins, and I'm actually wearing my Seth Rollins shirt right now from a few years past for WrestleMania. That match was supposed to be a really, really amazing match because both of them are high flyers, and they both can kind of get the job done. We don't see a lot of Logan Paul, but from every time he steps in the ring, he does not disappoint. WWE is known for doing this with the famous wrestlers, celebrities. They'll have them wrestle, and I think out of all of the celebrity wrestlers, he has to be the best one. By far. Maybe Bad Bunny will come in number 2. But Logan Paul, he's really good. I can't deny him from that. He is really good when it comes to the wrestling ring. The match kind of was slower than I thought, like I said, because of that fatal 4-way tag just completely tore the roof off the building. But we got to see everything in there, which was important to me. We got to see some high spots. We got to see Seth give the pedigree. We seen Seth give his stomp. We seen Logan give his punch. We seen some shenanigans being played with Logan Paul since he's the heel. At one point, it looked like Logan Paul was going to win the match, and that's a big deal because Seth Rollins is when you look at Hall of Fame, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So when it's time for his day, to beat him would have been huge, but he didn't get the job done. He wasn't no Austin Theory beating like Cena. He didn't win. Seth Rollins ended up taking the W on this one, like I think he should, because he is a phenomenal wrestler in the modern era. And you know what? I would argue top 10 in any era. He's that good. We saw Logan Paul promoting his Prime drinks, which was, it is what it is. But one of my favorite spots of the night was actually when Logan Paul tried cheating. He had one of his people that he partners with having the mascot kind of Prime suit on, and Seth managed to get him on the table, and then Logan didn't know it was him, went to jump off the turnbuckle and ended up crashing through his partner on the table. That was actually pretty interesting to me. I thought that was cool. What else do we got? We have the 6-women's tag match between Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. They fought Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Now, this match was I wasn't expecting as much as I was predicting, because we don't see Lita and Trish that much. They're Attitude Era wrestlers. They're from a bygone era. They're from the 90s, early 2000s. So we don't see them wrestle at all, really. Lita just came out of retirement for these WrestleMania moments. Trish Stratus, same thing. She wrestled, one time last year, and that time, a year or two ago, it was one match, and that was like the first time she's wrestled in a decade. I think a decade. So I wasn't expecting much, but Becky Lynch, they had a great partner in Becky Lynch. She is probably my favorite for the WWE women's division by far. Becky's great. So they had good partner. with that. And Lita did good. She didn't do as bad as I was expecting. There have been some very scary moments with her in the past wrestling lately where I get nervous because she does this moonsault, and the moonsault sometimes looks like she barely makes it, but she got the job done. Also, Trish Stratus, like I said, Trish doesn't wrestle at all, and so to see Trish get in the ring and kind of do as good of a job as she did, I was super impressed by Trish Stratus. And that just shows her natural ability. I think if she was to get out of retirement today, she would have no problem stepping in the ring with everyone else and win more women's championships. They ended up taking the W. They beat Damage Control. That was one of those moments where it was, you know what, we're going to let the legends get the W. And I'm fine with that. Like I said, they did a decent job enough in the match. It just, it sucks for Damage Control because they just keep getting the short end of the stick on everything, it seems like. And I'm hoping after WrestleMania season, we can move forward and maybe they can get a little bit more shine. Maybe Bayley can get herself back in the title picture again because maybe she can, hold the WWE Women's Championship again because she was a pretty good champion when she was. Okay, moving forward, we got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. This match right here was actually one of my favorites that I've been looking forward to. The reason I've been looking forward to it was because Rey Mysterio is a legend. He's a legend, and I've been watching wrestling since 2000, so I've seen Dominic grow up on TV. I remember seeing him look like he was, 6, 7, 8 years old on the TV screen, when Rey Mysterio would be fighting Eddie Guerrero. I remember they had like the contract match, the ladder match way back in the day. That match was supposed to be very personal. This one coming because it was a father and son. The only other father and son match at WrestleMania was Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon all the way in 2001 at WrestleMania 17. So they were breaking a form of history because, they were the first father and son to do it that, let's be honest, weren't owners of the company. So that match was actually pretty personal. I liked the storyline going into it. Probably one of my favorite storylines going into WrestleMania because, I really wasn't a huge fan of Dominic in the beginning when he started wrestling a couple years ago, but he has really gone on his own, and he's ever since turning heel, he's done a fantastic job getting out of Rey's shadow, I feel like, and that's something that is hard because Rey Mysterio is one of those people that, hey, you got to call it how it is. He is a legend, and it's hard to get out of that shadow. We saw some good moments in the match. We saw the family kind of get involved a little bit, with Rey's wife, Dom's sister, Rey's daughter. They had a little moment in there where they got into a little confrontation. We saw the Judgment Day, the people that Dominic Mysterio is aligned with. They came out to try to help Dom. And then, of course, the newly formed Latino World Order with Santos Escobar, Zelina, and I'm blanking on their names right now. But yeah, they came out and they came and saved Rey Mysterio by attacking all the rest of the Judgment Day. And that was pretty interesting. That was good. I kind of expected that to happen, but overall it was worth it. I really liked the payoff in that because for months we've been wanting to see Dominic get his teeth kicked in by Rey, and that is actually what happened. Rey ended up taking the W like he should have because he just went into the Hall of Fame this year as well. So with that, it was a very emotional beginning as well, both of the entrances because it's WrestleMania season. The entrances were very big. Dom came out because he's got this ex-con Dom thing going on right now, part of the storyline. So he came out with in a correctional van. But Rey Mysterio came out with Snoop Dogg in a lowrider. But that was the first part. But then the second part was they played about 10 seconds of Eddie Guerrero, R.I.P. Eddie, they played 10 seconds of his entrance theme. So when Rey came out and you heard Viva la Raza, like, I got chills. I got chills thinking about that. And, kind of choked me up a little bit because we lost to Eddie way too soon. I was a kid when Eddie died, 12, 13 maybe. And, it's sad. He had so much more to him. And I know he was really good friends with Rey. So to see that, it brought chills. And they were in Hollywood. They're in Hollywood this year. So last time they were in Hollywood, it was Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. So it's kind of, you're going full circle again. So that was kind of interesting. I loved that. I liked how Rey won. And we'll see moving forward where it goes. Can Dominic keep up the momentum as a heel? I think it's crazy because Rey is a natural babyface, which is a good guy. And Dominic, he tried the good guy thing and it just didn't work out. He is a natural heel, which is crazy. You got that father-son dynamic, but they're just polar opposite when it comes to in the ring, personality-wise. So I really hope that Dom keeps up the heel, or at least a tweener persona, moving forward now that this storyline might be coming to an end. So then we ended up having impromptu match between The Miz versus Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, we haven't really seen him in quite a while. I mean, he did great on the SmackDown broadcast team, and then he had a match last WrestleMania. So it was cool to kind of see him come as a surprise opponent for Miz. The match didn't last very long. Like I said, it was a very impromptu match. It wasn't supposed to mean anything for the most part. And Pat McAfee winning was kind of, it was a given, but it was one of those cool moments because you just like to see these celebrities come out. And Pat McAfee's actually another one that I put in the Logan Paul category of someone that can really go in the ring because he respects professional wrestling. So, with that being said, we got two more matches to talk about. We have the Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and we have the main event, which was Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. So, we'll go into the women's one first. This match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley was actually way better than I thought it would. Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, so she got this match by winning it. She didn't get to main event this year, though, because, and this is my opinion, and I'm assuming that WWE thought the same thing, because they just didn't build the story as well as they should have. They didn't give them enough airtime leading to WrestleMania to make it the main event match. Now, I understand people are going to get mad because, she won the Rumble, so she should main event. Yeah, but it don't always happen that way. I mean, look at Seth Rollins when he won the Royal Rumble match. He ended up opening the show against Brock Lesnar. So it just doesn't happen all the time. And if you got such a bigger story, then you got to take the hit. But with that being said, they put on a great match. I was so impressed. The thing with Charlotte Flair is she does not get the credit she deserves. They look at her as Ric Flair's daughter. I feel like she's broken out of that mold at this point. It's been years now since she's been in the WWE. But she can perform. She don't wrestle as much, but she can go. So for her to go in as the SmackDown Women's Champion and challenge Rhea Ripley, who's challenging for the title, and for them to put on 15-20 minute classic, that spoke volumes. I really wish that they had more lead up to the match, because that would have been so much worth it, so much more worth watching the match if you had some build up to the storyline, which we just did not have. So the match ended up with Rhea Ripley winning with an avalanche riptide, which is her finisher, pretty much a pump handle slam, but she did it from the top rope. We got to see a little bit of the match. A little bit of everything in the match. Everyone kicked out of everyone's finishers at one point. We saw submissions. We saw some intense moments. So all in all, it was a good match. I cannot take away from the match. I just agree with the WWE's choice of making sure that it wasn't the main event. Okay, leading on to the main event, the big one. We're here. We got to talk about it. We are talking about the Usos defending their WWE Tag Team Undisputed Championships against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now, I loved this match because, first of all, I called this match months ago. Like, I called this match when Sami Zayn joined the Bloodline, like, half a year ago. And you could tell Kevin Owens was shaken about it and trying to snap him out of it, even months ago. So, with that being said, we knew that at some point there was going to be some kind of interaction. So they were able to make it last a solid 6-7 months. And they had a lot of build up to it. This is why it was the main event. There was so much build up. The Bloodline is the biggest group right now in WWE. And they're going to go for, years. They're going to be talked about. The Usos were the longest reigning tag team champions. I don't know if it's ever. I do know it's within the modern era. It could be ever because I know that they were over 600 days. So, the match had a lot of backstory to it between Sami Zayn being part of the Bloodline at one point and then turning his back on the Bloodline to help Kevin Owens because they were trying to pretty much permanently get rid of him. And then he sided with Owens. And then, they had a solid month of them kind of reforming a bond or friendship because these guys are best friends. They've been best friends for decades now. And, they grew their wrestling career in the indies together. So they are the yin and yang to one another. And I think that that's great that they've never got the opportunity to win a tag team championship in WWE until now. So with Sami Zayn going through the whole Bloodline drama, there had to be some vindication for him, and this was just it. Taking those titles away from the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, who beat the living hell out of him, just for the past month, really, and one more, putting another crack in the Bloodline. That's just it's big. It's a big moment for WWE, and that means we can move forward once the Bloodline angle gets officially done. What I liked about this as well is this is the first time in a long time I can remember the main event being a tag team for WrestleMania. That's the first thing. The second thing, this is Kevin Owens' second year in a row main eventing WrestleMania. That's huge because, he doesn't win as many world titles as I would want him to, but the company trusts him enough to make him the main event star. Last year, he fought Stone Cold Steve Austin, which was, oh my God, how do you even, I still cannot fathom that they got Stone Cold to come back to wrestle and to wrestle Kevin Owens of all people. So, they see it, WWE, and I see a lot in Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn, he's one that's the underdog. He's the everyday man. He is the guy that he's not the biggest. He's not the most in shape. He looks like a normal guy you would see at a store. But you know what? When he goes out there, he destroys it. And he puts on the best performance. And he just... it's amazing. So to see him get his vindication and get 3 haluva kicks in the end to Jey Uso, who was really the whole cause of all of this, but the first friction between Sami and the Bloodline, it was going full circle. I did like I liked the little shout out to El Generico, which is Sami Zayn's indie alter ego, and as well, this makes Kevin Owens a Grand Slam champion by him winning this. So now he can say he's won the Intercontinental, he's won the US, he's won the Universal title, and now he's won the tag team titles, the 4 major championships when it comes to being a Grand Slam champion in WWE. Also, as well as the NXT title he held before he moved up. So I think that this was a solid night. I give it about a solid 7, leaning to an 8. Like I said, without the WWE title in there, it devalues it by a point or 2 for me. Doesn't matter how great the show is. I need to see the title for it to be a perfect 10. So that's my breakdown, guys. If you guys like it, please do like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers. So I have more accessibility here on YouTube, and I can start doing more lives, and I can put out more content for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed my review, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow to give Night 2 WrestleMania review, which, hey, I gotta say it, I'm a big Bloodline fan, but I'm rooting for Cody Rhodes. Finish the story, Cody. Take the title. You know, Roman's been champion for over 2 years now. It is time to dethrone the man. Anyways, guys, this is a rare review from the Horror Guru. I hope you guys have a good day, and